Hey there guys, we're taking a look at Divinity Original Sin 2 running on the AMD Ryzen 5 5500U, and this is just a campaign I was doing with a friend. It was just in co-op, and the performance that we were getting is actually relatively decent. We're getting pretty much a 60 FPS average with 1% lows that are barely dropping under 40. And the game is currently running at 1080p with the lowest graphical settings, and while it doesn't look amazing, it does perform very well. And honestly, for a turn-based game like this, where anytime you're going to be in an action situation, you don't really need to worry about any quick reactions or anything like that, this is fantastic levels of performance. I was pretty satisfied overall just to see the kind of performance we were getting out of this. I was genuinely expecting this to perform a lot worse than this. I don't know why. I always just felt like this game would be heavier than this, but the level of performance that you're getting is pretty much going to make it so that you're actually going to be able to play this perfectly fine, especially if you want to play it co-op with your friend. I mean, this is definitely one of those games that has like hundreds of hours worth of content here, where the fact that it can run on a system this cheap pretty much makes it so that you can actually get a lot out of a very relatively small amount of money. But overall, I'm just happy with how this is performing, and honestly, I had a really good time playing on here. And really, the biggest tell of just how well this is performing is just looking at those frame time charts. Everything is pretty much perfectly flat. The only time that there might be even the smallest little spikes is when nothing really important is actually happening. And I'm glad to see that the sequel in this series is actually able to perform this well, because I've actually never played the original, but I would imagine then that it's going to perform as well as this at the very least. And I mean, this is one of those games where you really don't need a 60 FPS average. Like, just getting a consistent 30 would already be more than enough. The numbers that we're getting now pretty much are just going to make the experience overall just really enjoyable. I could definitely see myself sinking hundreds of hours into the game like this if this was the only way I could play it. If anything, it was a bit nostalgic because it reminded me a lot of back when I was a kid and I would play like Baldur's Gate on a PC that performed significantly worse than this. Pretty much I was getting like half the experience of this or even less than that, and I still had a blast playing the game. Like, if I had a system that was playing games this well when I was a kid, I would have been so happy. I was playing with a much worse system than this, and honestly, I was still having a good time. So overall, I'm very happy with how this has been performing. But anyways, I have to mention that I'm actually considering picking up a new system, and I'm trying to decide between which chip I really want to get my hands on. It's pretty much between the 5600U and the 5800U. Now, I have two systems in mind. Each one is going to be under $1,000, which is pretty much my target price point right now, but I just really can't decide between the two. Pretty much it's down between those two because of the fact that they're pretty much going to be what is being used as the replacement for the 5500U and the 5700U. So I would like to be able to get a system with those chips in for comparison, but I don't know which one exactly. I'm kind of leaning more towards the 5600U, but really I could be convinced to go towards 5800U. So let me know down in the comments below which one you would rather see compared between the 5500U and, you know, whichever one I end up choosing. I'd just like to get your opinion on it, so let me know down below. But anyways, I'll see you in the next one.